Hi, this is Julia Forsberg, and welcome to my project, Project Future. The community. When completing my community scan and interview with the Contra Costa supervisor, I began uncovering important information about areas of the community that was struggling. What got me thinking is what was stated by Federal Glover. In conversation with a group that's trying to close the literacy gap, one of the points I continued to make was that we have to be working with the parents. End quote. While issues like the literacy gap affect all children, it especially affects students in poverty. When looking at statistics I found on students within my community that live in poverty through Welfare Info 2017, it shows that poverty skyrockets with children ages 6 to 17. This made me realize that these students may not be given equal access to education because of teachers' biases. I felt that this related back to what Federal discussed about working with the parents and came up with my innovation from there. Defining the problem. The issue to focus on in my community is how poverty affects the futures of students, whether it's their home life, peer relationships, or the school system. Whatever it may be, it's holding them back from equality and further creates a chain reaction of wide social mobility gaps. At the moment, the policies standing in the way of solving this problem are the traditional and rigid rules within the curriculum. I feel connected to this issue as a future high school special education teacher because it's my duty to ensure a student's success before they graduate. Moving on to innovation possibilities. There were many ideas I started when brainstorming a solution, such as workshops, meetings, changing the school environment, but then I decided to put myself in the shoes of the students. This is why my innovation is unique, because rarely creators think of these programs in the program without them feeling singled out, like sitting down and chatting with them in the first week of school. Even when I felt like I had a solid plan and submitted it for feedback, there was still room for improvement, which is what ultimately led to my final revision of my innovation. A program for students in poverty with the base idea of creating a more inclusive environment and personal biannual meetings with a revision of my innovation. A program for students in poverty with the base idea of creating a more inclusive environment and personal biannual meetings with the students. Within these meetings, we will discuss current and future struggles both mentally and academically and work together to create student-oriented goals for their future. Along with this plan, I will work hard to ensure that every student is offered the same information on their options for life after graduation. Professional identity. The role I intend to play in this program is just another team player in the group of teachers that will come together to bring the plan to fruition. As always, my leadership style is participative, and this plays into why I wanted to solve this problem in the first place. I see myself and my future students as my equals, and if I want to ensure their happiness and success, I have to start somewhere because each generation affects the next. My purpose is to make students with disabilities feel understood, heard, and supported no matter their circumstance. These words should be my program embodies these values at its core, which is why incorporating them now is important. Finally, the proposal. For families who are affected by poverty, I'm asking you to open yourselves to new possibilities for your students' future. And while the program handles intimate and personal struggles, we need the trust from you to change the lives of generations to come. This includes lowering rates of depression and numbers of persons incarcerated, closing the social mobility and literacy gap, reducing the homeless population, increasing accessible health benefits for families, and more. I will continue to fight for this for the rest of my life because students and those of their future deserve happiness, health, and safety.